In the hushed corridors of Willowbrook Academy, where autumn leaves whispered secrets against ivy-clad walls and the bell's chime marked the rhythm of young dreams, Elias Hawthorne moved like a shadow. At 54, he was the unseen guardian of the school's soul, broad-shouldered yet stooped from years of bending to flaws, his silver-streaked hair tucked under a worn cap, and hands calloused not from creation, but from erasure, wiping away chalk dust and spilled sorrows. To the students, he was Mr. Eli, the janitor who fixed leaky faucets with a wink and left wildflowers and lockers for the bullied. To the faculty, he was reliable, unremarkable. But Elias carried a vault in his chest, once a concert violinist whose strings had wept with Vivaldi under Vienna's lights, until a car crash 20 years ago silenced his bow forever. Shattered fingers, a widow's grief, and mounting debts had traded spotlights for mop buckets. Now, he lived in a modest cottage by the river, tending a garden of heirloom roses that bloomed defiantly, much like the melody he hummed in solitude. Amelia Sinclair ruled the academy with the precision of a maestro's baton. At 42, she was a force of unyielding grace, porcelain skin framed by chestnut waves, sapphire eyes that pierced excuses like arrows, and a wardrobe of tailored navy suits that armored her heart. Orphaned young and raised by stern aunts, Amelia had clawed her way from a scholarship girl to principal through sheer will, reviving Willowbrook from near closure with grants and grit. She championed excellence, debate clubs that won nationals, arts programs that sparked prodigies. Yet beneath her polished veneer lay a fracture, a daughter, Lily, lost to leukemia at 10, whose laughter still echoed in empty auditoriums. Amelia buried the ache in ledgers and lectures, her office a fortress of awards and silence. Emotion clouds judgment, she'd say, dismissing teachers' pleas for more heart in the curriculum. To her, Elias was a fixture, like the creaky grandfather clock in the hall, necessary, but forgettable. It was a crisp November evening when the mistake unfolded. The school buzzed with preparations for the winter gala, a fundraiser to restore the dilapidated music hall. Amelia lingered late, poring over budgets in her office, the weight of unpaid bills pressing like fog on the river. A distant melody drifted through the vents, faint at first, then insistent, like rain tapping a forgotten window. Frowning, she followed it to the music room, its door ajar in what she assumed was Elias's oversight. He must have left a radio on while cleaning. She'd reprimand him tomorrow for the breach. Pushing open the door, Amelia froze. Moonlight slanted through arched windows, gilding the grand piano like a relic from another era. There sat Elias, not mopping, but seated at the keys, his cap discarded, eyes closed in reverie. His fingers, those gnarled sentinels of toil, danced across the ivories with impossible fluidity. No sheet music. It was Beethoven's Moonlight Sonata, the first movement's liquid sorrow pouring forth, each note a silken thread weaving loss and longing. His left hand cradled the melody with tender resolve, the right, scarred and hesitant, conjured ghosts of precision, faltering only once on a high trill before reclaiming grace. It wasn't flawless, it was alive, raw, a confession etched in sound. Elias played as if the piano were a confessor, his broad frame swaying, tears carving paths down weathered cheeks. Amelia's breath caught, a hand flying to her throat. She should interrupt, demand an explanation for this trespass. But she couldn't. The sonata unfolded, and with it, fragments of her own buried grief surfaced. Lily's tiny fingers on these same keys, plinking twinkle, twinkle before chemo stole her spark. Elias's music wasn't performance. It was resurrection, pulling Amelia into its tide. As the final adagio faded into silence, he exhaled, a soft, broken sigh, and opened his eyes to find her there, silhouetted in the doorway. Principal Sinclair, he stammered, rising abruptly, hands fumbling for his cap like a shield. The door stuck. I was just wiping the bench. Didn't mean to. Play. Amelia whispered, stepping forward, her voice cracking like thin ice. The word hung between them, fragile as a moth's wing. Elias nodded, gaze dropping to the floor. Habit from another life. Sorry for the intrusion. I'll lock up proper next time. But Amelia didn't move. Instead, she crossed to the piano, tracing the keys where his warmth lingered. Elias, who were you? Before the mop and the buckets. He hesitated, then sank back onto the bench, the truth spilling like the sonata's coda. Vienna Conservatory prodigy, sold-out recitals, a wife named Clara whose laughter harmonized his every note, until the rain-slicked road and a swerving truck ended it all. Shattered violin, mangled hands, a mountain of medical bills that buried his career. Willowbrook hired me 5 years back, no questions, just gratitude for steady work. The kids. Their joy reminds me of what I lost. And this room, it's got a soul. Sometimes, when the silence gets too loud, I slip in. One mistake, and here we are. Amelia listened, her fortress crumbling. She saw him anew, not the janitor, but a kindred spirit, his mistake a key unlocking her own vault. My Lily. She loved this piano. Said it sang back to her. After she died, I locked the music away. Too painful. But you make it breathe again. Tears welled, unbidden, tracing her cheeks like silver rivers. Elias reached out tentatively, his scarred hand covering hers on the keys. Music doesn't heal, it just holds the hurt till you can carry it lighter. In that moonlit confessional, they played, a duet born of wreckage. Amelia's fingers, elegant but rusty, joined his, fumbling through Chopin's Nocturne in E-flat. Notes clashed at first, then blended, a fragile symphony of two souls adrift finding anchor. Laughter bubbled through tears as they botched a cadence, Elias's chuckle deep and rumbling like distant thunder. By dawn, Willowbrook transformed. Amelia championed Elias as music director. No demotion, but elevation. The gala raised triple its goal, with his sonata as centerpiece, drawing donors who wept openly. Lily's portrait graced the program, in memory of dreams that endure. Elias's garden roses adorned the hall, petals unfurling like hope. Amelia changed deepest. She softened her suits with scarves of sapphire silk, her lectures laced with stories over stats. Evenings, she'd find Elias by the river, violin salvaged and restrung, playing for the stars. Your mistake melted more than my heart, Elias, she'd say, linking arms. It thawed us both. And in Willowbrook's halls, where echoes once mourned, now melodies soared, a testament that one slip, one truth unveiled, could rebuild what grief had razed. Elias, tending his roses at twilight, would smile. Hearts aren't mended, Amelia. They are played. Thank you for watching this story till the end. Sparkles. If it touched your heart, please support us. Thumbs up sign, give it a like. Speech balloon, share your thoughts in the comments. Bell, subscribe to our channel and turn on notifications. Your support helps us create more stories that inspire and make you believe in miracles. Your participation means a lot to us. Heavy Blackheart Hash.